Hey, YouTube. It's, what is this? Wednesday morning, right? I'm sitting here at a water plant at a distribution center where you got to get specifically between these little lines when you dock so the robot will be able to load you. And got here on time. Supposed to be 8 o'clock load. They put a dock plate in me when I got in the door, and I think they've loaded like 2 pallets. Either of these robots are really stealthy, like ninja bots. And they're quietly loading it. I think the robot broke or something. he stopped like 30 minutes ago and ain't done nothing since. So yeah, I'm sitting here now at 8:53. So, y'all that don't watch Jeffrey Lake, y'all that do watch Jeffrey Lake, the ones that don't, spot market is up 20 to 50%, which means if you're hauling a $3.50 load, usually it's around anywhere from $4.20 to $5.25, right? Is that right? $1.75 and $3.50. Yeah. If you're hauling a $5 load, well, they won't be $5, but you know, a $2.50 load, anywhere from $3 to, I don't know, I can't math that high right now, $4 or something. As far as Schneider goes, well, it's contract freight. You're not going to get any more, you're not going to get any less, depending on how the market goes. There will be renegotiating later on if the market drops and stays down long enough for the renegotiation process to follow through. This will not cause our rates to fluctuate at all. Contract freight is contract freight. They signed a contract saying that's what they're going to pay, and that's what they're going to pay. If it's $7 a mile and we're doing it for $3 a mile, we get $3 a mile. If it's $1.50 a mile and they sign a contract for $3 a mile, we're doing it for $3 a mile. But I guarantee you that we use more spot market and only do the agreed upon amount of freight as opposed to doing more. Whereas now they're probably scrambling to try and get more of our freight. Now I have seen, and they do, Schneider does pull some from the spot market. I got a C.H. Robinson load, and you got to know how to look for this stuff, but I got a C.H. Robinson load that was apparently bid out to Schneider for a certain rate, and the rate con is exactly what the line haul. I don't know where they get their fuel numbers from because it didn't show up on there. I'm sure they bargained that somehow, or they just added it. I don't know. Either way, I mean, I've been booking some really good freight. I'm still running by the end of Friday. No, I'm sorry. By Friday morning, so 3 days, I've been running like $2 and something cent a mile so far. I didn't add in Mondays. I mean, I could because I did a reset at a rest area over the weekend. But, you know, I was like, whatever. I couldn't find anything, so I said, screw it. I'm just going to stay here. I don't want to start my clock and mess it up. So I did a reset at the rest area, and I haven't hardly ran at all. And if I add up what I did Monday, come Friday morning, which technically to me that's Monday through Thursday because I still have all day Friday. Because the Friday morning I'm going to be like 30 minutes out from my drop. So I'll have like 27, 28. I don't even know. I didn't add that up because I'm not counting Monday in this week's. I was counting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning drop, which is pushing me at 23, 24. I don't know. I grabbed a really short run. I got lucky. It's a 9-mile run. Well, it says it's 9 miles. It's actually like, I don't know, 15 miles because we all know how that goes. But it was $4 a mile, $4.50 a mile, quick and easy. there was 4 of them that were in there and unconfirmed. I knew what they were, and $250. Personally, I get out there and spot. I'm not going to start for less than 500, but that short of a run, and I'm like 15 miles from it, if that. And the actual rate was way higher because it's such a short run. So, you know, it would have been 400, I think, just to run that load if it was a spot market load. But yeah, it was 200 and some change, 250, 240. I don't know. But I'm like, I'm going there and I'm dropping this load, and 90% of the time it's a drop and hook at the other end, even though it says live unload. And I've been unloaded there once before, and it took them maybe an hour. So either way, I don't care. So I booked a load behind that, going to, and I don't care if anybody knows, going to Chewy.com. Please take that, and Chewy.com's a wonderful place to get unloaded. I had a load there. I don't know if I said it about it, but I had a load there that was supposed to be a live unload, and it had to turn into a drop and hook. They happened to have an empty trailer because I had a load behind it that I had to pick up. So the BOA told them, let me go in there and talk to them, and I'll let them know, yeah, I'm going to get my other load. And then they still have my phone number, so they called me at 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night, something like that. They called me 13 hours after arrival time was supposed to be there. So for those of you that run spot market, if you see Chewy.com, don't do it. I'm telling you right now. All the reviews said that you'll be sitting there, and the reviews were correct. So I wouldn't even give them a second chance. Never. I mean, never, ever, never, ever, ever, never. For never. So, spot market rates are through the roof, and there's geese on the roof of that building. Man, these geese over here are crazy. They're everywhere. I guess more people need to eat geese. But watch out for viruses off of them because they're wild animals. Actually, you know, that's another thing, you know, because so I've been conversing with Dave, one of the guys that comments on my stuff, about this virus garbage. And, you know, I'm not going to go home. I live way out in the country, so I'm not too worried about human interaction. Well, I don't live way out in the country, but where we live is not, I'm not worried about it. I am, but I'm not, right? I'm not going to go home, but my wife's got health problems, and that's another reason I'm not going to go home. I don't want to bring anything home that I might bring home. I haven't seen myself exhibit anything that shows that I might have it, so hopefully it stays that way. I stayed at Indy last night, took a shower, did my laundry, ate their chicken quesadilla. No, it was a beef quesadilla, steak quesadilla. Oh my God. That thing, it was like $8 for the meal that comes with rice and cheese on top and a drink. And it was only $8. And I told the guy to throw $2 on there, but he had already wrung it out. So, because I ain't got no cash on me. I need to get some cash, because if something were to happen to our monetary system as far as bank cards and stuff, and you ain't got no cash, you ain't really gonna do nothing. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to barter. And water is hard to find sometimes, you know, because the way these idiots are, and since they can't find it at the store, they'll go to the truck stops and steal that and leave it for the truckers. I mean, if you're out there at your house, leave it for the truckers at the truck stops. Come on, man. So I got to the Pilot over there in Indianapolis. I parked there while I was waiting on my load to the place I had to go to unload. Excuse me. And those geese are like little snipers. They're wandering around from one spot to the other on that roof. And I just really wait one of them pull a rifle out and go, pow! So I got there, And I went inside, and he had like a 6-pack of water, and then their jugs are 2 for $4. So I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be here when he's like, my truck hasn't made it yet though. He's saying, and they got water on the truck. So I'm like, okay, cool. I should have waited, but I didn't know if I was going to be there. So I grabbed 2 jugs of water for $4 and sat outside, and I happened to be strategically positioned where I could see the truck when it pulled up. I didn't know I was until it pulled up. McLean! The McLean truck pulled up and started unloading, and I'm just sitting there watching. And these trucks keep driving by, blocking my view, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. And then finally, he's coming from it must have been one of his last stops. He's at the very front of the trailer, and it looks like he's got a stack of water, and his trailer comes by and stops. So I can't see. And then the trailer goes away, and the guy that was coming out is gone. I'm like, splendid. I don't even know if they got water in there now. And then another one came out, and he had a stack of water. So I'm like, oh, that looks like water. So I got out, went inside, and grabbed me a case of water. So if you're there at the truck stop and you have time to wait, or if you don't see any water, ask the manager. Find out when his next delivery is. If you're going to be there, he'll get you a case of water. I'm running low. I'm running low on coffee. I still got a little bit of food left. Hopefully there'll be enough officers and other people willing to help us get food, because some of the things I've seen online are the most childish, asinine piece of garbage people in the world that, no, you can't even, and I understand they don't want you walking up to a drive-through because people have been hit by morons that don't know how to drive, which it seems like all the smart people stayed home and all the morons are out driving, because, I mean, they're driving like freaking idiots. And it doesn't make sense because there's no traffic. I mean, I've seen tons of posts about, Atlanta traffic and Chicago and a few other places where there's always traffic, and there's no traffic. Load my truck. Good Lord. There's no traffic. So, well, there is, but I mean, it's like back in the 80s or whatever it was, where there's, you're going to run around like that with your tandems all the way back. You're supposed to slide them when you pull out. That's what they said. So everybody's actually being able to do the speed limit during rush hour, of all things. So I'm glad of that. But, or more than the speed limit for some of them people. I stuck at the speed limit and just cruised. Like, whatever. Everybody's passing me. Everybody. Until I came up on some dude doing 51. Like, what are you doing? And then he got in the middle lane and did the speed limit, 55 over here in Indianapolis. So, and he held up a car and another car and then a tanker. And that tanker got on a CB and was like, blah, 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 blah. So I said, I'll open it up for you. And I scooted up a little. I picked it up to like 58 and scooted up to get around that guy and jumped in the middle lane to block that dude off. I can't stand people that do that. That's just ridiculous. Get in the left lane so you don't worry about anybody running into you when they're merging onto the highway, and then get back in the right lane. Don't stay in that left lane, you moron. There's no reason for it, and especially with traffic like it is right now. But he stayed there doing 55, dropped down to 51. I let the tanker by and a couple other people by and went right back in the right lane. And this guy closed the gap. He sped up to at least 59, got up right there at my tail end with his nose, and stayed there and kept that gap closed. I'm like, is your speedometer broken? Because I dropped back down to 55 after I got back over. So he speeds up to close the gap and then sit there at 55 miles an hour. What a douche canoe. And he didn't have no CB, so whatever. Anyway, virus sucks. People that are out driving right now and four-wheelers suck. It's crazy. But I might try and base my drivings around OCs and stuff if these people are going to be jerks about giving us food. Now, there was a thing out, CDL Life posted about the FMCSA is asking all truck stops to remain open. And y'all know Pennsylvania turnpikes Pennsylvania's closed all their rest areas except for the ones on the turnpike, and they're only available for parking. No restaurant, no restrooms. Oh, but we'll bring porta-johns, right? Because porta-johns are that much healthier. Dine-in, sit-down's gone. Everything's ridiculous. And this car came over here, and they're just sitting over there, and now they're going to come over here and sit over here. I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're writing down trailer numbers, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so my rant is almost over. I ain't got much else to say. I just wanted to mention all that stuff. There's also a letter. There's a company that's sending a letter around for asking companies to, what the heck was it that I read? It's another thing that we're having issues with right now. Oh, they sent a letter to Pennsylvania, the Turnpike Commissioner, whoever it is that runs that, about, y'all should at least allow us parking. Me personally, you guys, if I ran Pennsylvania, I wouldn't be working there anymore. I'd be done with Pennsylvania. I would not deliver a single thing there. And that's what y'all should do if y'all deliver up there. Go work somewhere else, man. There's at 120 to 150% of what regular rates are. You should go run somewhere else. The rates are up everywhere. And just because you gonna get $6, $7 a mile there, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't run there. Because my thing is I would be running hard. I'd be running all day as long as I could and then stop. And that being the case and nowhere to park, Pennsylvania ain't gonna cut it. Ain't gonna cut it. Anyway, still waiting on these robots. They're doing absolutely nothing. They must be in cahoots with Jill smoking crack. But I mean, I got this. It's going 2 hours down the road, and then I got another home messaging. Yeah, it's going 2 hours down the road. And then, my Phillips 2 hours down the road. And then I got a pickup right down the road from that. And then I'll go as far as I can into it. It's funny because I saw this pickup on the board again for Saturday drop. And it was in conjunction with one of the loads I was looking at. But I went on their site and they are not open on the weekends. And it said it's a Saturday delivery. And yeah, sometimes there's dropping hooks, but at an egg manufacturing facility, I don't know if I'd want to risk that, especially seeing as it was a contract. It was not a contract. It was a spot market load. So hopefully they're not closed. Anyway, rant over at 18 minutes. Y'all have a blessed day.